So group 1 feels that start from the breath from the nostril, whether the breath is light or heavy, long or short. So with the continuation of the breath, then it builds a momentum. So where calmness come in. So with this, we expand the awareness to the rest of the body. For part 2, the calm the body formation while breathing in and out. So if a yogi notice body is tense, then focuses back to the breath. Whether the breath is it heavy, light, long or short. Yeah.
Can I ask a question? The first part, you said about experiencing the whole body. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by experiencing the whole body? Can you turn around, please?
So
how do you experience the whole body?
Through the breath first. The concentration actually comes from the breath. So when the breath is subtle, then we'll start to notice actually there's I mean just now during my meditation sit, so I noticed that there's tensions in the body after the breathing in and out get settled down. So start to experience there's tension in my shoulder. So again, I look at where's the tension, and then again the focus is back to the breath. That the breath is very heavy with this tension of my shoulder. So actually, by then is 30 minutes is up. So I guess that I will focus on this portion.
Okay,
continue.
so when you're talking about experiencing the whole body, it means bodily sensations, is it?
Yes.
Obvious bodily sensations.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Okay, anyone else want to share? I'm sure that there are many people here with different views.
Because we were discussing about this point in our group just now, how we define experiencing of a whole body. In fact, the Sutta said, experiencing the whole body, then I train myself to breathe in and breathe out. So the experiencing of the body come first, if according to the Sutta. This is how I understand, anyway. So, so it's not necessary for me to come the breath first, then only come to aware of the whole body. In fact, it will be maybe much easier to aware of the whole body, experiencing the whole body, then aware of the breath, maybe at the same time, or maybe after next. Because we can, just now we were talking about we can simultaneously, for example, when I'm talking to you, I can also aware of my body while I'm talking to you. So it can do at the same time. And just now we had a very interesting discussion because someone said when she's sitting there, pay attention to the breath. At the same time, she also can hear the sound. She also can feel the wind blowing on her skin. So whether by paying attention to the sound can be considered as experiencing the whole body. So, someone in our group said, no, the experiencing the whole body should only limited to the bodily sensation, but not to the sound. And some do not agree with that because they said to experiencing the sound is hit the eardrum. The eardrum is in the body, so it's also it also can be considered as experiencing the whole body. So in this case, there is no boundary. Whatever. If you like to say, experience by your five senses door, this can be considered as one of the door to experiencing the body. So in this case, there is no what we call very clear target to do this meditation, because you can pay attention to your whole bodily sensation, to your five senses door. At the same time, you can pay attention to the breath. So this is my interpretation anyway. So you can do some sort like choices awareness, and come to the second part, coming the bodily formation. Because the bodily formation, I think all of the members in our group agree that the bodily formation refer to like, because when we're talking about mental formation, the sankhara, it refers to the mental state. So when it comes to the bodily formation, it maybe refer to the four great elements, wherever that you can refer to in your body. For example, tensions, so we come to a conclusion that coming the bodily formation means to make our body at ease, relax. So it's also very important when we meditate to check whether we are relaxed or not. So we relax and pay attention to the breath. And this bodily formation, it's also maybe also connected to the mental state and the sound. For example, when you hear a sound, disturbing sound, or you have thoughts, angry thought, and your body start to tense up. So in this case, this part of instruction is actually connect the mind to the body, because you should train yourself to come the bodily formation, but at the same time, just now we are talking about the five senses door, now come the mind door as well. What are the effects of this senses object have on your body? And we should train ourselves to relax on whatever that we are experiencing.
Okay, I thought I'll give an alternative viewpoint, which is more from the traditional Anapana practice. Okay, now the first tetra of the Anapana talks about being aware of the in-breath and out-breath. So it's basically in, out, in, out. The definition of the whole body refers to the beginning, the middle and end of the in-breath, and the beginning and end of the out-breath. That will be the other understanding of whole body. As far as the body formations is concerned, again, back to the traditional Anapana practice, is here we are talking about the relationship between the breath and the mind. So the bodily formation here refers to the mental body. Alright? Now, after a while, when you watch the breath, you find the breath becomes more subtle. Right? As you may continue to watch the breath that becomes more subtle, you find that it also has an effect on the mind. You find that there's an increase in the mindfulness. The mind is able to watch the breath better, closer. So there's a building up of concentration as well, or leading to samadhi, however you term it. And after a while, you find that because of this interrelationship, when the breath becomes more subtle, the mind also becomes more subtle. There's another layer after that, or another layer after that, is that after a while, when you're more skillful with the mind, you can actually plant a thought or intention. As I breathe in, I'll calm down the mind. As I breathe out, I will calm down the mind. So that is coming down the body formation, i.e. the mental body.
Okay, let's see what the Buddha says. Okay, what is experiencing the whole body? Definitions in the Sutas and the commentaries, based on Anapanasati Sutta, Majjhima Nikaya 118, in the Visuddhimagga, and the Mahavibhasha, which is a Sarvastivadin Abhidhamma text commentary. It's actually from the Chinese. So, first of all, let us ask, what is the whole body? According to Anapanasati Sutta, Majjhima Nikaya 118, here the Buddha says, because in Anapanasati Sutta, the Buddha said that by practicing all these 16 steps of Anapanasati, of which only 4 is found in Kayanupasana, in Satipatthana, there are another 3 more tetras to be found. At the end of which, he says that a person who practices all these 16 steps of Anapanasati ends up practicing the 4 Satipatthanas and the 7 factors of enlightenment, or 7 factors of awakening. And then he went on to explain how is it that when one is practicing Anapanasati, one is also practicing Kayanupasana, or Vedananupasana, Chittanupasana, and Dhammanupasana. When it comes to the first one, Kayanupasana, he says, Kayesu kayanyatrahang bhikkhave evam vadami yadidang asasa pasasa. Translated into English, this means, among bodies, monks, this is a body, I say, namely in-breath and out-breath. So those people who advocate that experiencing the whole body means experiencing the whole breath body from the beginning, middle to the end has got some backing behind them. They've got some canonical evidence to show that they are doing it according to the Sutas. And this is also the view of the Patisabindha Magga, which is a very, very late canonical text attributed to Bhante Sariputta. And based on this Patisambhida Magga, Visuddhi Magga, which was written around 430 CE of the Common Era, he says, in the explanation on experiencing the whole body, Visuddhi Magga says, he trains, I shall breathe in, making known, making clear the beginning, middle and end of the entire body of the in-breath. And the thing is repeated for the out-breath. But you look at the date in which Visuddhi Magga was composed, which is about the year 430 in the Common Era. And look at this from the Mahavibhasa, which is composed much earlier, right? 150 CE. So 430 minus 150, what do you get? 280, is it? Okay, about 280 years earlier. And what he says is, when mindfulness of breathing is not yet accomplished, one observes in and out breath as entering and getting out by the nose. Okay? When mindfulness of breathing is accomplished, one observes breath as entering and getting out through all the pores of the body, which is like a lotus root. And this is very reminiscent of what Ajahn Thanissaro talks about in his lectures on Anapanasati. His teacher, Ajahn Lee Damadaro and Ajahn Fuang, teaches this method of being literally aware of breathing through the pores, not just through your nostrils. Initially, you are aware of breathing through the nose, in whichever way that is manifested. Then later on, you deliberately train your mind to be aware of breathing through other parts of the body. Now, I want to describe an experience by one of my yogis. She does not know about this. She was doing Anapana, and then she told me one day during an interview, she said, Bhante, I wonder whether this is really true. Am I really experiencing this or not? She said that when I was practicing this Anapana, and then the breath got very subtle. And then I began to see that, I could not really find my breathing at the nose anymore. I would feel that I was still breathing, but I was breathing through my pores. Now, is that really true? Or is that just a hallucination or imagination? You see? So, it is possible. It is not impossible. And because it is possible, that's why people write about it. And these commentators, they write not only out of scholarly knowledge. The Abhidhamma text actually grew out of textual analysis as well as practice, both. Okay, so this is what the breath body is, or rather, what is the whole body means. Actually, it depends on which you want to, how you want to do it and how it feels like to you. If you feel that by watching the breath from the beginning to the end, like what the Visuddhi Magga recommends, it helps you to become more composed and sharper and have clarity of mind, then go ahead and do it. If your breath at the nostrils becomes so subtle that you cannot really feel it, you might want to explore to see where the breath can be felt in other parts of the body. Then there's also another school of thought, Ajahn Brahm, who says that you don't really need to watch the breath at the particular spot, because according to the Visuddhi Magga, they give the simile of the saw. right? When the teeth of the saw goes over a piece of wood, only one or two pieces will be touching. Right? The rest are all going back and forth, and only one or few pieces will be touching, but in contact with the piece of wood. In the same way, according to the Visuddhimagga, you're supposed to place your attention at your upper lip or at the tip of the nose, and feel the air going in and out there, from the beginning, the middle, and the end. You're not supposed to follow it inside in your body and outside the body. Although there are some traditions in Burma and in Thailand which encourage or allow their students to start off by following the breath from the beginning, that means from the entrance to the chest to the abdomen, and then from the abdomen to the chest and out again to the nostrils. And then when the mind settles down, then they narrow their focus to just one spot. Ajahn Brahm says it's not even necessary to do that. You can actually just be aware that you are breathing wherever you feel it. Now, it don't have to be at the nostrils or on the chest. The Mahasi technique encourages you to watch the breathing at the abdomen, the rising and falling movements of the abdomen, which are also connected to the breath. So obviously it works for different people. Now that's why we are meditation teachers who teach various techniques. And whatever works for them, they teach. And you go follow them, it works for you, then it's good, you follow them. If it doesn't work for you, try another technique until you get the right one. So it's not really very healthy to go around saying this is right and that is wrong. As long as it works for you, the most important thing is whether you gain composure and clarity of mind. All right? Okay, let's go on to look at what is calming the bodily formation. Definitions in the Sutas, according to Chula Vedala Sutta, Majjhima Nikaya 144, and Dutiya Kamabhu Sutta, Samyutta Nikaya 41.6, and Rahogata Sutta, Samyutta Nikaya 36.11. Chula Vedala Sutta is about this bhikkhuni, Gamadina, and the Upasaka, Visakha. And in this sutta, the Upasaka Visakha asked the bhikkhuni Dhammadina a couple of questions. He asked about the three types of formations. First one is Kaya Sankhara, of bodily formation. Then he talks about Vaci Sankhara, verbal formation. And the third one is Chitta Sankhara, mental formation. All right? And he asked her, what is Kaya Sankhara, what is Vedana Sankhara, what is Vaci Sankhara, and what is Chitta Sankhara? And then she answered, Asasa pasasa ko avuso visakha Kaya Sankharo. In breath and out breath, friend visakha is bodily formation. And what is verbal formation? Vitaka vichara, thought and evaluation. And what is Chitta Sankhara? What is mental formation? Sanya and Vedana, perception and feeling. This can also be found in Dutiya Kamabhu Sutta, where the Buddha himself explained to a layperson that Kaya Sankhara means the in-breath and out-breath. Okay? So now we have a sort of a dilemma. You have a dilemma in a sense that earlier on we say Sabba Kaya Padisamvedi, experiencing the whole body, I shall breathe in, I shall breathe out, right or not? And after that, calming the bodily formation, I shall breathe in, I shall breathe out. Now, if bodily formation refers to the breath, body, then why don't you use the same word up there? Experiencing bodily formation rather than experiencing the whole body. So why you have Sabba Kaya up there, or the whole body, and then you have Kaya Sankhara down there, and they mean the same thing? Okay? So this is a question mark. If you look at the tetrad, the third tetrad of the Anapanasati Sutta, look at this one. Chitta Sankhara Padisamvedi Asasi Samidi Sikkati. Citta sankhara padisangvedi pasase sami sikati. Pasambayang citta sankharam asase samidi sikati. Pasambayang citta sankharam pasase samidi sikati. Okay, this one is the equivalent. Instead of kaya sankhara, is citta sankhara. Now this is another tetrad. Experiencing the mental formations, I shall breathe in. He trains. Experiencing the mental formations, I shall breathe out. He trains. Calming the mental formations, I shall breathe in. He trains. Calming the mental formations, I shall breathe out. He trains. Right? Now in this tetrad, it is very clear that citta sankhara is repeated twice. You can see or not? You know, when I say experiencing citta sankhara, in the first tetrad, instead of experiencing kaya sankhara, we find sabba kaya parisangvedi, experiencing the whole body. Yeah, but here is a repetition of citta sankhara in the experiencing and in the calming. Okay, so this is a question mark. Why? Why is it that if kaya sankhara and sabba kaya mean the same thing, why are two different words used? Whereas when it comes to citta sankhara, you know, they are used in both steps.
Bhante, I have a question.
Okay, yes.
Why isn't all the 16 steps of the Anapana practice mentioned in the Kayanupassana then?
Oh, that's a very simple question to answer. Why? Because the second tetrad is about feelings. The third tetrad is about mind. And the fourth tetrad is about Dhammanupassana.
Right, but then they are not mapped to respective.
Exactly. That's also a good question.
Yeah.
Why is it that it is not?
It is like as if the so-called copy and paste is not complete.
Yeah, it's right. That's right. So I mean, these are indications that there are some copy and pasting going on, but not in a proper way. Yeah, you copy and paste some things, and some things you don't copy and paste. Why is there such a anomalous sort of method of copying and pasting? Right. So put that in your mind. Okay, how is bodily formation calmed? Well, some of you have given some of the views on how you calm the bodily formation. Let's see what the Sutas say. Jatutan janang samapannasa asasa pasasa niruddha honti. For one who has attained the fourth jhana, in-breath and out-breath have ceased. And this is found in Rahogata Sutta. And in the same sutta, this previous statement is explained again in another way. Jatutam janam samapannasa asasa pasasa patipassada honti. For one who has attained the fourth jhana, in-breath and out-breath have calmed down. Now, the word that we use, that we find in our Kayanupassana is pasampayang. Right? Pasampayang kaya sankharang asase samiti sikati. Pasampayang kaya sankharang pasase samiti sikati. This one comes from the same root as patipassada. Okay, let's look at patipassada and pasambayang. Let's look at their grammatical analysis. And patipassada is the past participle of patipasambati, which is pati plus pa plus sambati from the root sambu, and this whole thing means to calm down. Okay, patipasambati. This is the verb. Pasambayang is what we find in our chanting of Kayanupassana. Pasambayang is the same as pasambayanto. It's a different form. It is a present participle of the causative of pasambati. Okay, how is it formed? It is pa plus sambati, which means to calm. This is not the causative. This one, the next one is the causative. To make calm. All right. So, what this means is that niruddha, cessation, is equivalent to patipassada, calming, which means to say that the breath completely stops. That happens only at the fourth jhana. So when you say pasambayang kaya sankharang asasi samiti sikati, it means that you are training yourself to attain the fourth jhana by calming your breath slowly, because this is present participle. You are in the process of calming. When you are finished calming, then it becomes patipassada. It has been calmed completely. It has ceased. There's no more breathing. Okay, so this shows, according to Professor Guan Zhefu, he says that this shows that the fourth jhana can be attained through anapanasati, although the word jhana is not used in anapanasati itself. But it is found in another sutta in the Samyutta Nikaya under Anapanasati Samyutta, where the Buddha says that there are many great fruits and benefits of practicing some anapanasati, and then anapanasati as well as anapanasati samadhi. And he lists the whole range of benefits starting from the first jhana, until the fourth jhana, and then the first ayatana, arupas, until the fourth arupa, until nirodha samapatti, and until the destruction of the cankerous. Right? So by practicing anapanasati, you can get everything. Okay, so much for this.
Bhante, I have another question.
Yes.
When we talk about calmness in in the context of anapana, right? Doesn't it also imply that there can be different levels of the calmness, different degrees of the calmness? So accumulating in, for example, the fourth jhana.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So when we talked about just now, citta sankhara, pasambayang citta sankharang asasi samiti. When you talk about citta sankhara, it refers to sanya and vedana, right? To perception and feeling. And calming perception and feeling means you are training yourself to attain the cessation of feeling and perception, which is nirodha samapatti. Through anapanasati, you can also attain to nirodha samapatti. Yeah.